Good day, everybody. The aviary is almost completely finished. I've sort of finished the front. I've added an extra layer of tiles, so it's much more difficult for something to get under it. I still have to finish the sides and the back, as you can see. But today I'm gonna add the extra layer of protection, and that's the electrical fencing. As you might have seen, I already have some water and of course electricity over here. I've already made a cover to put the fence energizer over here. I can plug it in over here. So now I'm gonna use a ground cable towards this point, and from here I can make connections everywhere to the door and completely round on the bottom. And I'm also gonna go up and add some electrical fencing on the top, so nothing can try to bite the wire over here or try to get through at the bottom. If something somehow manages to jump over, climbs up, when he reaches the top he will get a shock as well. Or when something flies and lands here, it will get a shock too. So then my chickens will be safe, because as you know, I'm not locking up all my adult chickens because I still don't live here. The chicks are locked up at night because of the automatic door I have, and most of them sleep inside, so they are kind of safe. Or yeah, I would say they're very safe, those that sleep inside of course, but the golden pheasants never sleep inside. The ducks also don't sleep inside, and they are now out here in the aviary for maybe already a week or two. So it's time to add the extra layer of protection. And I'm gonna use the products from Gallagher. So we have our fence energizer over here. It's the M120. What do you need more? You need insulators. This is the part where you put your cable through. I've chosen the longer ones because I'm also gonna add multiple layers of cables or circuits of cables, and for that you need these wire insulators. You can just slide them over, and this way you can have a cable over here and running through here, and you can even add multiple ones. I'm gonna use two, so I have 3 cables. 2 I believe the positives, and 1 is for that will be connected to the ground cable, and I mean the ground bars. So those are these ones, and those are connected to the earth, to the soil. So when something flies up, it also has a connection with the soil, and it can get a shock. If you don't do this, chances are very big it won't get a shock, unless everything is wet, then it might get a shock. But you definitely need another extra cable in the middle, and when he hits both cables, the animal will get a shock. This might sound terrifying now. Shock here, shock there, but it doesn't. I mean, it hurts a little bit, but it's more to spook the animals. It's not meant to hurt the animals. But so it's meant to keep them away from your aviary or whatever you want to protect. This is the cable I'm gonna use, the turbo line. So the electrical current will go through this cable. We also have these Vidoflex connectors to make connections from this cable to our insulated soft cable or the ground cable, or even to make connections between 2 pieces of electrical fencing. And then we also have these earth clamps. This is for the connection between our soft cable and the earth poles or earth how can you call this? Yeah, for the grounding. And I believe that's all you need. It's quite simple, and Gallagher also provides some informational videos on YouTube as well. So I'm gonna leave their YouTube channel in the links as a link in the description. Definitely check that out. I'll also leave a link to their website where you can check out the products. The company is actually, or it originated in New Zealand, but they also operate from Europe and I believe also from America, so it should be available to you worldwide. So definitely check it out. So now let's set it up. I'm gonna start with the offset screw insulators. I'm gonna screw those ones in at first, on the top and on the bottom part. Then I'm gonna screw in the fence energizer over here, or yeah, in the opposite direction, it doesn't matter. And then I'm gonna make all the connections with the wires. As you can see, it's quite easy to set up. You don't need to be some sort of electrician or something like that. You will have enough information in the manuals or in the informational videos on YouTube. My system is a little bit more complicated. That's why I have 2 earth stakes, to make sure we have enough grounding to the ground, because the soil is quite dry over here and my AVR is yeah, very big. So that's why I have 2 earth stakes. And I'm also using ground cables because I want to go underneath the grass and not make a connection to the top part. That would be an option too, but then I have to make this cover bigger or higher. And that, yeah, it loses some aesthetics, of course. And I also need to make a separate connection to the door. So it's a bit complicated, but it's not that hard, and I'll show it to you in a minute. You actually need to drill the holes for our 2 screws to hang up the electrical fencing device, but yeah, sadly I don't have a drill bit from, I believe, 3 or 4 millimeters. I only have a 6 millimeter, so I'm gonna try to just screw them in. So when I hang it over here, I do think I'm gonna need to drill a little hole. I'm gonna try it out with the 6 millimeter. Oh yeah, now it's sturdy. Don't be a cheap ass like me, just buy a 3 millimeter drill bit, because it will go easier and you will probably need it anyways somewhere in the future. Alright, the installation of the isolators is done. So now it's time to fix the wire. And as you can see at the door, I've used smaller ones. So not the long ones like here. These are shorter. So now I'm gonna start from this point, go all the way around until here. Then I need to connect this wire with the ground wire straight to the fence energizer. And then of course we need some ground cable to the ground bars. Now I only need to make sure I have enough to make the connection with the ground cable. So about this. For now I'm just gonna tie it like this. Just one single knot. So with this part I can make a connection to the ground cable.
times like these are here to show. You can do things for me and more. I got your back, just take things slow. I'll bring everyone to show that I want your heart and more in my own life. I'll tell everyone there's no stopping us. Can I have you for the rest of my life?
Alright, I'm done. Now we just need to check if nothing is touching the wire, because otherwise we'll have some electricity loss. And I can already see that a lot of weeds and grass is touching the wire at the bottom, and also at the end. So over here the willow trees are already growing through the net, and it's also touching the wire at the top part, so I'm gonna need to cut that. Apart from that, everything is done. So we have our grounding over here, 2 poles leading to the device, and then it's going underground upwards to the middle wire. We just need to make sure that this wire, the middle one, so that's connected to the grounding, isn't touching the other 2 wires, because otherwise we will have a short circuit. And I've seen over here that it's like very close. I can't even put my finger in between, as you can see. So I'm gonna try to cover this part as well. And then we need to just cut the grass and the willow trees, and then it's time to plug it in. I've already tested it out and it works. The bottom part, and the connection to the door I've also did with a ground cable, and I've made it a little bit flexible by making a spiral, so it acts a bit like a spring. And over here I've used the shorter ones, so I can open the door much more. But now everything is electrified from the bottom to the top, and nothing should go in. So the ducklings and the chicks are safe, as well as the adult birds. hope this will do the trick, but I think it will. Otherwise we have to look for something more sturdy. And in the worst case we have to cut it and also use the connectors to make a connection with some piece of ground cable. So now all we have to do is plug it in. So now you might be wondering, how do I know if it's working? Well, I don't know if you can hear it, but it makes like a ticking sound or a clicking sound. And when you look very closely, you can also see the light flickering. And this is the indication that it works. Of course you could also touch it and feel if it's working, but I'm not gonna do that. I have the M120 right now, and at home I have the M50, and I've touched that for maybe like 3 times accidentally. I do have to say, you feel it, so I think you will feel the M120 even more. So I'm not gonna do that. So that was it for today. So that was it for today. Allee. Beetjes. So that was it for today. I'll leave some links in the description below where you can find the products of Gallagher. Now all the chickens and the ducks are safe, so I can sleep very well now at night. And they are safe as well. Give the video a like, leave something in the comments, ask me a question if you still have some questions. Stay calm and remember to keep on breeding chickens. And goodbye.